Hello there and welcome to the Wandering Wolf YouTube channel. I'm your host, Mark Rhodes. Alongside me, as always, is my friend and fellow Wolves lifer, Mr. Craig Forward. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you, Mr. Rhodes. Friday night, we've got a great guest tonight. I'm buzzing. What more could you want?
We certainly have got a great guest. Our guest tonight is Wolves women's captain and fellow Wolves Foundation ambassador, Anna Price. How are you, Anna? You all right?
Hi, you guys. Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. We've got that Friday feeling, have we? Yes.
Yeah, long week at work. So, yeah, when you get to Friday.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming on the channel, Anna. I suppose the first thing to ask you is, where did the love of football come from, and when did it start for you?
My family are big football fans. My dad played football. My brother played, my older brother. So ever since I was, in a pushchair, I've always, gone down watching my brother. And then I got into it that way, really, kicking the ball about on the side of the pitch where he played. And then, primary school and it grew from there, really.
Yeah.
And I've just loved it from day one, like not just playing it, but watching it as well, being a big Wolves fan.
Yeah, loved it. That's kind. That's kind. Yeah, loved it sometimes, Anna.
A lot so more recently.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a good February it was, definitely. But Anna, who was the first team that you played for then? If you started from a young age, can you remember? Not say that you're old. Not say you're not old.
No.
You know what I mean?
I've been at Wolves since I was 8.
Wow.
Yeah, like obviously I played for my primary school with the boys. So I played in the boys football team when I was like in year 4, so like 8 or 9, and then I went down to the the coaching and the training down at Wolves, and then I've been at Wolves ever since. So I'm really really fortunate that obviously I've been able to move through the age groups and into the reserves, into the first team. So I'm a one club lady.
Wow, fantastic. Yeah. How has it been during this lockdown then? Because Anna, I know, obviously it's been a bit tricky, hasn't it, this season and last season? Because obviously you were absolutely smashing it, and they null and voided the season, which obviously it was terrible. But what's happening this season? Because I keep on seeing things about the FA Cup coming back, the league still in limbo. What can you give us an update on anything that's happening?
To be honest, I know as much as a fan like you. We found out yesterday that the FA Cup was returning, so we've got to prepare for the 4th of April.
Is that the second round clash with Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, so that's Notts Forest. So really looking forward to that. And there had been talk about potentially that not going ahead. So, but it's eventually the decision was made, and we only found out yesterday in regards to that. So and in terms of the league, we're currently top with top of the league, but it got stopped at it was hard after last season, being in the position we were last season, to bounce back like we have. Just a credit to everyone, really. But
absolutely.
So we're just in lockdown at the moment, unfortunately, and the league have got to make a decision. It's gone through the FA, and we're just waiting now from the FA. We've heard that we're going to find out from the week beginning the 15th of March on what they're going to do with the remainder of this season. And there's going to be some big decisions to make, whether there's talk about whether they extend the season and it goes into the summer months, or how else they can do it. It's a difficult one, really, but we're just desperate to finish the season, to be honest. After what happened to us last season, I think we just really want to get our hands on that trophy and win it by winning the league.
Well, the thing is, you've already done it, basically, haven't you? And to do it again must have been a massive kick in the teeth. Has it been frustrating, the inactivity? Because, you're a sports person. You have to train. You have to put so much energy into it. To be told that, we don't know when you're coming back. Has that been, frustrating for you, Anna?
Yeah, it's been really difficult. I think the first lockdown when it came, obviously, we found out about the voided season, but it was
Yeah.
like the summer months. We thought, you know, the season will start again, and we'll have to go again once we'd got over like the initial, obviously, heartbreak of it. And then the November lockdown came, so we had 4 weeks off. But we always knew that was a bit of a circuit break, you know, 4
Yeah.
weeks and we're back on the pitch. So, you know, that was really, you know, quite easy to not stay fit, but we were all following programs. You're
Yeah.
really motivated to do it because you knew in 4 weeks' time you've got to be ready and raring to go.
Absolutely.
But this one, obviously, it's just been slightly different, and you know, we have been doing Zoom sessions with our fitness coaches. We are starting one-to-ones, but like everyone, we've been restricted. We can't train all together, and we've got to wait till the 29th of March, like everyone else. So it is difficult, and you know, the following week we're going to be playing Notts Forest, and
no, yeah, that's really that really must jar with you, because like I wouldn't imagine that Zoom sessions as good as what, you know, this has really helped us during lockdown. A Zoom session for fitness or for training, that can't be the same, can it?
Nah, that's it exactly. We can do all that's all we can do. You know, we can, you know, we've got the Zoom sessions. We're doing fitness in terms of like running on our own, one-to-ones, which are going to be, you know, one of us with a coach.
Got you.
But that's it, you know, and you're going to obviously be able to do ball work and more specific training. But you know, there's nothing like, as you know, there's nothing like obviously all the team training together. You know, working on, you know, set pieces, tactics, units working together. That's not going to be able to happen until the 29th, which is like, you know, 5 days before or 6, you know, 6-7 days before we actually.
I suppose it's hard to keep that self-discipline, isn't it? Like, you know, you've got to put the work in, but it's like, I'm dragging myself out today to go and do it. I mean, like, you know, obviously I'm nowhere near a sports person, but just in general, you know, trying to keep your fitness up and all that. It's so important for your mental health and stuff like that, isn't it? But I suppose it's hard to keep going.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, like players have struggled, like particularly like in this lockdown, because we haven't known, and we still don't know with the league. You know, having the news yesterday about the FA Cup resuming, that's given everyone a buzz and a lift that they needed. You know, we're going off, you know, reading into like a tweet that potentially the National League have put out to say, you know, we're in talks, we're making plans, and we're having to kind of use that as a bit of, you know, this could happen, and that's what we've got to be ready. We've got to be ready, because we can't, you know, we can't put the last, if the league is going to start up in 3-4 weeks' time, we can't be in a situation where we throw the last 2 seasons away. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be, and that is what motivates me anyway. To think, you know, come this far.
Absolutely, and as club captain, I suppose you've got to have that mental attitude, because it breeds that into the team, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, I'm fortunate. I'm glad that I have got that mentality, but you know, I do totally understand how the girls are feeling, and you know, we've got full-time jobs, we've got, you know, people at university, etc., and you know, football is such a massive part of our lives, and then for it just to be taken away, which I totally understand with what's going on, the pandemic, it's, you know, it's awful for everyone. But yeah, like you say, it has been hard. It's been hard. This one definitely has been the hardest. But like I say, the confirming of the cup has at least has given us that kind of game, and it's going to be, you know, a massive game. The girls are buzzing. We can't wait to be on the pitch playing against Notts Forest, and you know, we are the underdogs because they're the league above us. So you know, we've got nothing to lose. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
Well, hopefully they're not the league above you for too long. Fingers crossed you can get your hands on that trophy that you richly deserve.
Oh, you've got to get it.
It'd be so good.
Yeah, so much, yeah.
You deserve it, you really do. Anna, you've played over 300 times for Wolves. What a stat that is. Now, you must have loads of, respect. You must have loads of like incredible memories putting on the shirt. But which ones stand out for you, would you say?
Do you know what? The most recent one, you know, in this season, we are playing against Lincoln.
Yeah.
Lincoln are a title contender this season, and obviously they still will be if the season restarts. And
fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And there was a lot of questions asked about us, and there still is, about whether we can do it again if the season carries on. Can we bounce back after what happened to us last season? So going up to Lincoln in November time, we knew it was going to be tough. We couldn't stop over. We had to travel on the day. It's quite a distance, yeah. And they've got some good players. They've strengthened. They were really up for it, really wanting to go for that promotion as well. So we ended up winning 3-2 in injury time. We got the winner, Lowry.
You're like the 99th minute or something daft.
It was something ridiculous, yeah. 96th, 97th minute, and honestly, it was an unbelievable feeling. And on top of that, it was my 300th game as well, and
amazing.
I'll never forget that now. And like in the past, I've never really known about whether it's my 100th game, 200th, 300th, because there just isn't there wasn't that like media attention really, where I did actually know about that, because I think one of the reporters had mentioned it and said, "Oh, it's your 300th," and did a report on it. So going into it, I knew. So it was a real special game. And
great to get the win.
Yeah, because you don't know what happened. What will happen, if how the league are going to decide whether they're going to carry on, whether they're going to take it as it is. So us being top of the league and just showing that, we did it last year, we're top now, it might end up meaning a hell of a lot, So the importance of it as well in this difficult time, it will always stay in my memory, and it was unbelievable.
Amazing. And now, since you've been playing for Wolves, how has the attitude changed towards women's football? Because, I get the sense, especially, when the World Cup was on the BBC, there's a lot more, in a brilliant way. You've got like people like Alex Scott on Match of the Day. Yeah. You've got all these brilliant women footballers on TV now, and even say 5-6 years ago, that wasn't the case. How do you think the perception of women's football has changed?
Well, it's had a massive turnaround, hasn't it? Like, when I was younger, I wouldn't even be able to probably name a female footballer. I know it sounds really bad, but
yeah, no, it's true.
It just was. If you ask someone who the England captain is for 10 years ago, they wouldn't really know. Yeah. Where now, they're on the the players are on the TV, the ex-pros, they're holding their own as well.
Absolutely.
Pundits, it's unbelievable, and to catch that part of the growth of the game for me personally has been a highlight as well, because I've played when I've had to wear hand-me-down kits from the boys' teams, at Wolves. Crazy. Or we haven't even had a training kit for a couple of seasons, but we don't care. The fact we all love Wolves, we want to play, we're not bothered, and where now it's gone. I can't thank the club have done so much for us the last since Fosun have come in, really.
Yeah, that's great. That's really good to hear, because you never know how it's going to go with new owners, do you? Where they're going to put their money and their focus, and to know that they're doing that for the team and women's. Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Good that they're backing it and getting involved, and showing, treating it as seriously as they need to, which is great, because the game has come a long way in the last couple of years, and it's a shame we don't want to dwell on it really with COVID and everything, but that's been sort of a leveler for everyone. But it's exciting to see where it's going to go in the next 10 years, and how big it could become after that. So, fair play, and keep at it.
They've done, they've really done a lot for us. Just things like our own Twitter. We've got our own Twitter now. We've got our own Instagram. Things like that to raise the profile of the girls, and hopefully to inspire the next generation of girls. And
absolutely,
the England team, in the last 5-6 years have made a massive difference.
Yeah,
like the Lionesses, it's really raised the profile in the country. So, I'm a PE teacher myself, so I see it firsthand at school. The amount of girls coming in now in year 7 that want to play football and have played loads of football at primary school. where that wasn't the case. Like when I was younger, like I had to play with the boys, and that was it. You know, there wasn't a girls' football team or any girls' training or anything like that. So it's just a massive boost for women's football. And like I say, Wolves have totally got on board, and you know, it's been unbelievable the last few seasons. Can't thank the club enough.
And long may it continue.
Great.
It's so interesting that you say about girls getting into football, because I presented a show called Match of the Day, Can You Kick It? And the amount of girls there, I would probably say was 60-40 in favour of girls participants. And I would have said, if you would have done that 3-4 years earlier, probably would have been 90% boys. And it was so wonderful to see that, and long may it continue, because I think women's football is going well. It's going to go up and up and up, you know. And the standard is unbelievable. Like you must see it, like when you play week in and week out. Like the standard must have got better as you've played.
Definitely. Like, don't get me wrong. There's always been that. You know, those exceptional players that have gone on and represented England, etc. You know, the very top level.
Yeah.
But the overall standard now, like it's just showing that all that investment that they've done, in the grassroots and all the RTCs, etc. The standard, the general standard of women's football is just getting higher and higher.
Yeah.
So for someone like me who's getting older, you know, I've had to, you know, you've got to up it. You've got to make
not sure that old, Anna. You're not that old, believe me. You're all right. You're all right, mate.
But, you know, like you say, it's not like it was before, where you'd have a couple of girls that play at, you know, in a class of 25 at school, etc. You have got, you know, even numbers really. The girls want to play football as much as the boys. It's kind of overtaken some of those more traditional female sports, hasn't it? So
yeah,
like
definitely.
Balls and that, they're not as popular now as what football's kind of invested and overtook. So
hopefully, well, my daughter like loves football. It's football, dancing, and me in that order. But like it's funny.
Good,
yeah, absolutely, and that's the way it should be. You know, like if your daughter or any girl that you know wants to play football, what a great and it's even better now because you can see the standard getting so much better, and also obviously there's a financial reward if you are one of the top players now, and there wasn't before. And like that you know, as much as it pains you to say, if you can make some money while doing the thing that you love, then that's obviously a bonus, isn't it?
Well, that's like, it's exactly it. Like when I was 16, 17, 18, I would never be able to aspire to have been a footballer. Like, you know, I had to think about going to university, getting a degree and going on and being a PE teacher, which, you know, I absolutely love.
Yeah.
But now I've got girls that I teach saying, Miss, I want to be a professional footballer.
Oh, wonderful.
And it's like, wow, like, and you know what, they can go and, you know, there's a whole league now in our country that are all professional, where when I was younger, it was literally just Fulham ladies. And then maybe a knock-on effect of then Arsenal, and you know there was like one club, and all the internationals would be at that club. So you know, realistically, you'd know, you know, that isn't going to be me. Where now, you know, even in the league that hopefully we can get into, teams are paying money, like, you know, and no, it's not thousands and thousands like the men, but it's an incentive, isn't it? And
absolutely, it's about following your passion that you love to do, and why shouldn't girls follow that passion if it's the same sport as what men do? I don't, you know, I've never got that, and hopefully we can get to a point in society where men and women's football are on an even keel, because that's what happens in the States. The States were the first country to do it, really, weren't they?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And that's it. It's a different game to the men's game. You know, it's not, you know, men are physically stronger. They're big. You know, you can't compare. You can't say, well, you know, Wolves men v Wolves women. It just be like, you know, it's just uncomparable. But at the same time, like you said, like we're doing the best we can within our gender. You know, that's and it's just a different game. But you know, why shouldn't females get rewarded for the level? It's still all about levels, isn't it? And
Absolutely.
if you're the best female,
absolutely right.
Why aren't you getting paid? You know, I totally understand it with the men's game. The amount of money they get from Sky sponsorships, etc. It's in a different league. But I think it's just great now that there is that incentive of, you know, you can earn a living, and I think that's all people would ever want. Females, you know, like I say, we all do it for the love of the game, because that money isn't really there, particularly at Wolves at the moment of the level that we're at. But, you know, like I said, the support that the club have given us, I'm sure if we can keep progressing, I'd love to say that we could be one of those top teams and paying our girls and our ladies, you know, the money that to be able to do it as a job.
Is that a dream? Is that the dream then, Anna? Would you? Is that what you know, wake up in the morning and then that's, you know, that comes to you? Is that your that's fulfillment for you, or are you already happy with what you've done, which you should definitely be happy?
For me, like, you know, being like that's going to be like the next generation of players. I would have thought, you know, that are going to be, because to get to super, like we're tier 4 at the minute, so top of tier 4, so we'd have to win tier 3, and then championship is like part-time, so there'll be money involved, but it's a Super League 1 that you need to get into, so you know, but like just to be part of it, you know, if we win the season, if we win the league and get promoted, then it's all part of that journey, isn't it, of hopefully getting Wolves up, and it would be like the proudest thing ever to see Wolves women in the Super League. You know, not with me playing. I just mean as a club. You know, being there like a Wolves fan. Like, you know, how proud are we of to see our team go out and play in the Europa Cup last season.
Absolutely,
it's exactly the same. You know, it'd fill you with pride, and an added bonus that you've obviously been part of it at some point, whether it was a couple of seasons before or, you know, whenever it is. But so it would be a dream to see Wolves be a Super League 1 team. Yeah.
Would you like to
with the backing of Fosun? You know, it's completely achievable, isn't it? It's not that far away.
Definitely.
And, you know, fingers crossed it resumes soon, and you can win this league that you totally deserve. You'll be in tier 3, and then onwards and upwards.
With Fosun involved and just the club in general, you know, we've got amazing sponsors like, you know, Energy Angels that sponsor us. They put a lot of money in now, and, you know, we are doing everything off the pitch that we need to be doing to get promoted, and we're doing everything we can at the minute on the pitch as well. So you know, fingers crossed. It's happened to so many teams. Like, you look at Man United women, they didn't even have a women's team 3 seasons ago.
Crazy.
Now they're competing for the top, you know,
mad, isn't it?
in Super League 1. So, money, unfortunately, it has gone money orientated as well, the female game. But, you know, that's football, isn't it?
Part and parcel of it,
yeah.
Hopefully we can benefit from being a big club ourselves, and, you know, that investment would hopefully come our way. Fingers crossed if it did happen, if we keep doing what we need to do on the pitch.
I'm interested, Anna, like, would you, after you have retired, which obviously is not for a long time, but after you have hung up your boots, do you want to get into coaching? Or do you, because obviously you're a PE teacher, so you might want to stay in that field?
Well, to be honest, I haven't put too much pressure on it. You know, my life without football would be, you know, without Wolves and Wolves women, it would be, you know, I'd have a massive void in my life, because it's been since I was 8, you know, every Tuesday, Thursday, now Fridays as well, Sunday. I've just been, you know, they're like an extended family that the club has been. So you know, I'm doing my UEFA B, so
great,
level 3. So, and I do a lot of coaching already in my job. I'm lucky that, you know, the school I'm at is got a good reputation for girls football, and I run all the girls football there. So, you know, I have done a lot of coaching already. But honestly, I'm not sure what I'll do. I'm just enjoying playing at the minute. I just want to make the most of, like I said earlier, this kind of boom that's happened, and just make the most of the time that I've got playing, and enjoy every minute that I hopefully get back on the pitch. So I haven't given it much thought, but obviously I am going to do my coaching badge, which I'm really looking forward to, and then I'll just see what happens once I retire.
How's the new manager getting on, Dan McNamara? Because we've asked him to come on the show, and fingers crossed he does, because it'll be lovely to get his insight into it. Yeah, is he a good lad? Obviously, he's probably going to watch this, so give him some high praise indeed, I would imagine.
You can't say no.
I'm sure he'll definitely come on for you. He always wants to promote us and the female game. I'm not just saying this. I can't speak highly enough of it. Since Dan's come in, the professionalism at the club, it's kind of tied in. It has tied in well with Fosun and everything that's gone on behind the scenes at the club. But I'm under no illusion it has been driven by him. He wants the best for us. Some of the battles he's probably had to fight and put his foot down for. Well, I know he has, and we've got a lot to be thankful to Dan, and he's a great coach, great manager. Intensity is always really high. He demands nothing but the best. It's not just about winning; it's about performing, playing well. He honestly he doesn't take his foot off it. Nothing. I mean, in a nice way, but we never caught, and that in a way that's probably why we have continued to be successful this season, because we haven't got our heads down about it. We did initially, obviously, because it was heartbreaking news, but the standards have continued to rise, and we've continued to progress, and it's been fantastic since Dan's been in, and hopefully we can get the job done for him more than anyone, and the staff that he works with, because again, all of them couldn't ask for any more from what they do for us, all the staff, and the time they give up, and they go above and beyond.
Brilliant. From one manager to another, how do you think Nuno's done this season with the lads? Because it's been, me and Craig talk about it all the time on this channel about the transitional period of this season. How do you think they've done?
Well, it's just been a bizarre season, hasn't it? I'm not one of these that wants to get on Nuno's back, get Nuno out, etc. That is just not me.
Neither are we.
No.
For what he's done for us as a club, going from League One football, I know he didn't get promoted, but that feeling of when we were in the League One, and now Nuno coming in the Championship, football changed the club, hasn't he?
Yes.
From the and then this season, don't get me wrong, there's been times where he's made decisions, and you think, what's that decision about? But I think being a player myself and training, I think at the end of the day, he's seeing these players day in, day out. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, whether some are carrying knocks, injuries, etc. If people are struggling with COVID, with the situation.
Well, he might be. He hasn't seen his family for so long, has he? So
exactly, and that's another thing, isn't it? I think, I know some people say, well, it's not an excuse. He's got a job to do, but I don't know about you, but Molineux, it's all about the fans being there. I know every club would probably say the same, but the atmosphere and
Molineux especially, though, isn't it?
It's second to none. Really is second to none.
Special, haven't we? The last 2-3 seasons that atmosphere at Molineux has always been positive, because we've done so well since Nuno's been in. So I think all of a sudden, obviously with the little rocky patch that he had.
And that's all it's been, really, though, Anna, to be honest. It's been a little rocky patch, and then you see everybody giving him so much grief. Have you seen on Twitter they're talking about, what is it? Is it Gattuso coming in for him? It's like,
it must be a slow news day. It's a slow news day. That's absolutely.
I actually stopped going on Twitter for a bit. It was getting me down. I can't read the negativity. I'm like,
it winds me up, that stuff.
Yeah. It's definitely a downgrade.
The month, isn't he? He's
exactly.
He's got nominated for Manager of the Month this one, so bless him. So
I know.
I'm a big Bruno fan, and I'll stick by him.
Yeah, he'll have a statue.
Absolutely.
He'll have a statue outside Molineux in a few years' time. That bloke, he ain't going anywhere.
It should be there now.
Agreed. Yeah. I'm glad we're all on the same page, guys. Anna, you know what? It's been absolutely wonderful to chat to you about women's football, everything that you're doing for the club and for the foundation as well. We've got to say that as well.
Absolutely.
But yeah, thanks for chatting to us, and keep doing what you're doing. Fingers crossed we can get the league back up and running. You can get your hands on that trophy that you deserve.
Oh,
you'll have to come down and have a watch of if we get back going, you'll have to come down and support us.
Oh, we'll be down, 100%.
100%.
We appreciate all the support. Anyone watching this as well,
absolutely.
We'd love to have you down there supporting us, and hopefully with the return coming shortly, everything crossed anyway.
Absolutely, fingers crossed.
Absolutely.
Anna, it's been lovely to have you on The Wandering Wolf. Thanks very much.
No problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
Cheers, Anna.
No problem.